Everybody, we are live here. You just heard Aaron Rodgers and Coach Mike Tomlin at the podium for the post-game press conference after a Thursday night defeat for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Final score, Cincinnati 33, Pittsburgh 31. The vaunted most expensive Mike Tomlin defense, everybody, got torched for nearly 500 yards of offense. And again, Coach T coaching to not lose instead of trying to win.
Oh, Victor, I said hi. Goodbye.
But the Mike Tomlin defense, everybody, got carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey. Joe Flacco, 31 of 47 for 342, 3 touchdowns. And I mean, can we try to cover Jamar Chase, everybody? I mean, all the man did was, I don't know, catch 16 passes? 16 passes? 16 passes! For 161 and a score. Everybody, Aaron Rodgers, the talent, the mobility is there. He'll be fine. The offense will be fine. They're able to get a receiver at the deadline or have Calvin Austin come back or a mix of both. This offense will be very dangerous. Jalen Warren had a fantastic game. Darnell Washington, the 6'7" Selly on the touchdown. But everybody, the Mike Tomlin defense, dear gosh, man. The Mike Tomlin defense, unfortunately, Terrell Austin's going to be the scapegoat for Mike Tomlin. Unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. Terrell Austin is going to get fired for Mike Tomlin's defense. I mean, they were just rushing for, dropping 7, playing zone, and just getting carved up. So unfortunate, the battle of the offense and Aaron for them to lose. And the schedule gets a whole lot tougher. Green Bay coming up. Have fun. Have fun, folks. Green Bay, Indy, and the Chargers. Have fun.